sorry, I'm back. Back. Hold on, let me figure out how to set up the visual novel again. I forgot. It's been that long since I've played it. 1 second. Yeah. Extra stories, right? Oh, let me turn my model back on. Oopsies. I think it was this page. And then, okay, and then, there we go. Okay, there's the visual novel. I already had it open. Good. Get out of Honkai Impact Third now. And then, right, and then, let's just listen to Hoyo Mix in the background. Let me set that up too. Hoyo Mix, Hoyo Mix, Hoyo Mix, Hoyo Mix. How do I do that again? Oh, I should also change. Hold on, let me change the stream information to. It was MPV. It's not in here. Hello, my drive isn't loading. I could also probably make this screen a little bit bigger, slightly bigger. It's locked, isn't it? Oh darn it. Oh wait, this isn't maximized. Hold on, I'm dumb. F12. No, wrong. F11. There we go. There we go. Okay. Um. How do I do this? Do I just drag the folders in here? Oh, I only added 32. Hold on. Wait. Did that work? No, that didn't work either. Oh my goodness. How do I do? Okay, that's fine. We'll only have one album to play through. That's fine. Also the first song is Night Glow. Oh my goodness. I forgot that the first song of this album is Night Glow, and the first song of the next album is Honkai World Diva. Let me add an audio source for it too. Hold on. Audio capture. Add a new one. Music. Add MPV. Okay, that should work, right? I think that should work. Right, change the stream descriptions. Edit. Okay, title should be updated. Everything should be updated. Okay, we're good. Too loud. There we go. Okay. So right, last time, I believe, this song, what we were doing was we gave the Soulium to this AI, and the AI was like, "Oh yeah, give me like 4 weeks or so to figure out what this thing is," and It's actually been 4 weeks IRL, like more than 4 weeks in IRL time. So we're on meta, guys. We did it! Okay. Right then. So it's part 3, right? Yeah. Yep. This was the room. This was that room with the AI where they gave it the Soulium with the hidden message in it. So there's 2 parts to the hidden message. The first one was a message from somebody, and the second part is what is encrypted like in a really weird way that requires a lot of time to break through. So now we're on chapter 9. Chapter 9 thankfully is quite short. It seems like there are only 2 parts, and chapter 10 has 3. So let's get started. We have a cookie first. The car has finally stopped. A car door opens. Cold air rushes in, carrying with it the acrid stench of tobacco. Isn't that visual novel character? A deep male voice. Wait, hold on. Hello? That looks like the first chapter. Wait, hold on a minute. There's something wrong. There we go, much better. I don't know why it was on the first chapter. I was like, wait, that looks familiar. Okay, okay. There we go, this is where we were. What the heck? That was weird. In the 4 weeks beginning from now, the lab assistant named Welt will be bearing a heavy responsibility. Lab 42 is now on a quasi-holiday because the supercomputer Ida, right, is that how they tried to say it in the game, has been shackled with a computationally heavy task. Which means Welt needs to organize recreational activities for the 2 doctors every day for the entire period. He's their vacation planner! Although one of the doctors proclaims that just because we're on vacation doesn't mean we don't need to work some days, given the personality of the other doctor. It seems difficult to say for certain what the workload is going to be like. Well, especially given that just a few hours earlier, his own foolhardy behavior had caused her to blow a fuse. The wall clock silently ticks past 11, despite knowing that the community's safety in this neighborhood is one of the best in Britain. Walt remains uneasy, and since he has trouble sleeping anyway, chooses to stay up all night in the lobby. It is still quite loud. Let's set it to 35 then? That might be better. Okay. On the other hand, Einstein, who seems accustomed to her roommate's late-night adventures, had already gone upstairs to rest, hard quotes, in about an hour ago. If not for the various sounds of falling debris in the garbage chute occurring from time to time, it sounds like someone is taking this opportunity to finally clean up the house. After drinking his 7th cup of black tea, the catcher in the rye in his hand has already been flipped to its last page. The Catcher in the Rye, published by American writer J.D. Salinger in 1991, but a resource published for schools and libraries book. But now, this book is designated for many American schools. Some critics say that it has greatly affected generations of American youth. I remember reading that. Very strange book. The silly protagonist of the book had an amusing temperament, and this reminded him of Don Quixote he had read last year. Speaking of which, just now he had received a letter, and it was a very strange letter indeed. Omega, when you do receive this letter, it should already be around the 31st. Happy Halloween. Oh, happy Halloween, everyone. We're in October. It is October 3rd. It's spooky month, guys. It's spooky month. Don't forget to submit your spooky stories for me to read on stream. Good time to plug my Discord, I guess. You can submit them here, okay? There's a thread open under the forum section for you to submit scary stories to me, and I'll read them on stream. I heard that because a certain overseer pays special attention to this festival. I've had to make grand arrangements at headquarters every year. Yes, the attached photo shows the state of my preparations this year. By the way, something else to celebrate. Starting this month, my lab staff has been reduced to just me alone, so as you can see, even when taking food, I can only take one for myself. This is for myself! Oh, no! I haven't heard from you recently. Is it because of the new opportunities that have rekindled your passion for life? I heard you guys have been traveling back and forth between the Atlantic Ocean and Africa. However, the North American branch has always been rated poorly by headquarters. If they happen to cause some kind of trouble amongst themselves, or be at loggerheads with each other, you mustn't blindly participate. I've heard that still water runs deep, and it can get rather treacherous. Oh wait, but I'm also being stupid. When are you not? When gods fight, what's the matter to mere mortals like you and me? Best not to talk about it anymore. Now, I don't know what the weather is like in London, but the moonlight in Vienna tonight isn't really hard to come by. I'll thus follow the power of alcohol to guide us in casual chat. Talk about some things we cannot usually talk about. Well, it's just a letter, so just let me talk. And you can listen. Don't take any of this too seriously. What's going on? I know you're a person who likes reading, but have you ever thought about what has caused us human beings in our struggle against the Honkai to be repeatedly thwarted, suffer loss after loss? After all, what flaws make us vulnerable to constant forestalling with the Honkai, to the point that we are close to complete surrender, too tired to cope anymore? In other words, why do we always repeat the same mistakes? It's true that throughout human history, we have been steadily progressing, and this trend of progress will unlikely be obstructed by any trivial event or matter. But what I've been seeing more are those pioneers who stand on the crest of the wave, isolated and cut off from help, battered and bruised, caught between a rock and a hard place. Sometimes they may even lose, defeated and embarrassed by their own human foibles. Spiritually, they may be giants, but sometimes, physically or materially, they are weaklings. Their spiritual strength often takes a long time to be passed down to later generations before they are eventually recognized as cherished paragons. Why is it doing that again? Earlier, I told you the story of St. Colin. However, what I want to say today is, despite her strong force of character, nature instead granted her body, or the body of an ordinary girl, although the bloodline of Kaslana is definitely not ordinary. But that won't take much to focus what I'm about to say here. Can this guy go like 2 minutes without talking about Colin? A body so weak and frail, one so minuscule and insignificant that even the common folk can sentence her to death, so that even a lonely Honkai priest can take her life with ease. You have a cookie. Doesn't this make absolutely no sense? The world we live in, it does not follow logic at all. And it does not respect the principle of equivalent exchange. I will never forget what Colin experienced during her brief life. I am convinced that for us humans, the greatest enemy is not the Honkai at all, but ourselves. Jay, thank you for the hydrate! I'll have plain water for hydrates. Yeah, you can hear that water filling up, right? I drank all the water, and I was still thirsty. I have hot chocolate, so thank you for the hydrate. it's any good to like, you know, drink like cold water and then the hot chocolate. Kind of sus. Right then, back to the clown's letter. We are too weak. So weak that our heroes are always powerless to save everyone. We are too weak. So weak that some of us would even doubt the motives of our heroes. We are too weak. So weak that we will sacrifice true justice for a small immediate gain. We are too weak. So weak that we can only negotiate short-term peace amidst mutual conflict. And that we have to resort to official, pompous-sounding words like social order and ethics to cover up our despicable motives. You mean your despicable motives? Oh, darn it! The saint. She is a saint because despite being as fragile as us, she's very different from us. For she's one, just the one, the only one, who does not fear her vulnerability. This kind of bravery emanating from the heart is like the sun to us ordinary folk. Something we can all see, but we can clearly never attain. At least compared to her, I'm a complete coward. Oh, thank you for admitting that. Every one of us. Is that, okay. Every one of us, harboring this original sin called fear, trepidly seeks the answers to life's questions. The saint would never deride or cheer at us, but every time I realize we're living like this, I wish I could kill myself with just a single blow. So do it! I'm kidding. Please don't. Freaking Otto. It's just freaking Otto. I'm sorry. That was very out of line of me. I deeply apologize for that outburst. But it is Otto. But imagine if each of us really has a chance to rid ourselves of this fragility. If we can uproot this fear, this thought of I'm fragile, deeply rooted within our hearts, we can create a new culture at that moment, one that is full of forgiveness, full of self-confidence, and full of vigor. And then this so-called Honkai would then dwindle to something so small, so insignificant as to be unworthy of further mention. Such a world would protect its own saints. Such a world is more worthy of protection from its saints. If there's ever a chance that Colin is able to shine upon this world stage again, then this time she will not struggle to progress because of our own eagerness. Otto? Otto, please. Otto, please. You've been alive for about, what, this is 1955, right? Ish? 1950s? 450 years. Otto. Please stop. Otto. I haven't tasted red wine for a long time, but I have really been drinking quite a bit today. In your opinion, this letter may seem pure unintelligible, incoherent but this doesn't matter. Before, I had been talking to you as a member of the organization. Today, let me be an ordinary researcher and let me have a casual, self-opinionated man for once. I don't think the kind of world I have just imagined can be realized, but it doesn't matter. We still have a lot to do, don't we? Your old friend who has been acting a little strange today. Clown Alpha 1955 1028. Well, at least we know that the guy who has been sending us letters this whole time was freaking Auto Apocalypse. So many problems would be solved if Otto would just disappear in this whole series. Oh, Otto. Thank you for your letter, Otto. Oh. Why does this guy trigger the most insane outbursts from me? I don't understand. I don't get it, guys. I don't get it. I need another cookie. I've gotten mad just from reading that letter. Now that I know it's Otto, My goodness, I've read the other letters with like no pomp or circumstance. I've just been reading them going like, who's clown? Who's this alpha person? Who's sending me letters? Remember there were like other letters at the start of the visual novel. The hour hand on the wall clock has moved 60 degrees and is already early morning of the next day. Walt silently refills his 8th cup of black tea. Click, 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 click. At last, outside the door, there's that familiar sound unique to drunkards. The sound of a prodding key from one who cannot, for the life of them, find the keyhole to the lock. Uh-oh. Ah, you little jack? What language is that? Did I pronounce it correctly? Not asleep, I see. Drifting footsteps, breathful of alcohol. There's no doubt this woman has already drunk more than enough. Yes, do you want to go upstairs? Thinking back to Mophead's advice, the young man decides to deal with the situation with an ordinary, calm mindset. Upstairs? The red-haired woman with half-loosened twig-tails waves both hands dismissively. Maybe you can come talk to me. Welcome home, Chi-Chi! You missed me reading the letter from the clown. The clown offered to remove himself from the world and prevent the events of Honkai Impact 3rd. And I was like, yes, please free those poor girls from their suffering. Going to the Chi-Chi! But yes, I finally found out that the clown is Auto Apocalypse, our favorite clown, Auto Apocalypse. Dang it. Me? No. I can't do a good drunk voice. Well, yeah. The clearly sober adult seizes the opportunity to flop down and sprawl all over the small sofa. Besides him, they're the same picture. He was dressed as a vampire with like a wine glass. Like, hold on, let me save. If I go back to the title, to show you the card, will I be able to come back here? Or will I have to, I forgot how this works. You haven't heard of it anyway, have you? Haven't heard? Haven't heard of what? Maybe wordy to there. I am a visiting member from the House of Commons. If you haven't heard of it, Huh? Okay, this old gal is gonna use this provocation to explain it to you, so you better wash your ears. Let's look at the little jack you are, okay? The red-haired drunkard continues to ramble incessantly while she scornfully flings her coat over the back of the sofa. This is chapter 9, Chi-Chi. Wait, chapter 20 of what? Honkai Impact or this? You know, this old gal's name is Nicola. It just happens to be a girl's name as well, so I use it like that. However, the last part. Oh, I don't know. Speaking of it now, I feel nervous. What are you trying to say? That Nicola is a pseudonym? Silly, no, it's not. Federico Nicola Tassola is my full name. Yeah. Boss arc, more like the child. It's Senti's arc. Wait, the child? What? What am I gonna name for it? Tesla is a Serbian who was born in Croatia and has an Austrian nationality. In Central and Eastern Europe, this is not uncommon for historical reasons. Yeah. How many times has that land changed hands? Russia, even back further, the Vikings. I forgot all my European history. Never mind. Let's go back. Tesla is so unhinged, right? Isn't that a rather cute name? Dissatisfied, the drunkard shifts her posture and crosses her legs together. I knew you men would speak like that. You affectionately like Nikolai, men immediately lose interest. Aren't I right? It isn't really like that. When Rita kidnapped Tesla. Vaguely, yes. From like when they invaded Shiksal, right? Enough of life that treats me as a simple, ordinary girl. The drunkard's speech suddenly speeds up dramatically. The whole thing's so stupid. I think I might just die from this stupid. How can human personality be defined by such boring things like gender and race? Have their brains been soaked with formalin? Oh boy. Formalin is a mixed aqueous solution with a formaldehyde content of about 50% and a methanol content of about 50%. It is generally used as a preservative for specimen preparation. In our world, unably, within 7 hours of the death of physicist Albert Einstein, his brain was preliminarily mixed with a 10% to 11.4% formalin solution, and then preserved for ethological sectioning. Thank you for that, game. I believe you can, I don't know if you can go see Einstein's preserved brain. I can't remember. You can look that up if you're interested. Let me go back to fast talking mode. But indeed, unfortunately, the vast majority of people in the world can only confine themselves in these little cookies playing games around senseless labels. As soon as someone steps out of these black and white rules, they become inexplicably angry and get all riled up as if lives are completely ruined. How are the fake hiccups, by the way? I'm trying to be like drunk, but I don't know if it's working. These people probably forget that these various identities within us are fabricated values created by humans to organize society into an ordinary state. Everything that does not exist in the natural world is nothing more than personalist assumption, nothing more than human fabrication. Fabrication. Shiksal is fabricated, Britain is fabricated, driving on the left is fabricated! Even that toilet being divided into ladies and gents! It's Vinny. I'm speaking too much, almost like I'm stuffing a goose. A foie gras, fat liver, is a famous French dish, often called geese liver in Chinese. I can't read that. When in fact, duck liver can also be used as the raw ingredient. Foie gras farms force ducks or geese to develop fatty livers by tube feeding food directly into their stomachs. Ew! That's unethical! Why is meat production so expensive? Like, that is a lot of ethical cost. You're force feeding these poor animals just to have a delicacy. I'm also not a liver person, so maybe I'm biased. Cabbage is carried out for 2 to 4 weeks, 3 to 4 times a day, when a specially prepared slurry of meat is directly poured into the esophagus using a tube. This will cause a large amount of excess nutrients to accumulate in its liver, resulting in an enlarged and delicate fatty liver. My goodness. Yikes. Yes, I'm Nikola Tesla with a doctorate in post-alcohol verbosity! The redhead half rises from her seat, snatches the black tea in front of the young man, and without any warning, drinks it down in one gulp. Nice voice acting, thank you. All of you! Call me a doctor. But I haven't even graduated yet, have I? Huh? Are you so surprised? It's not uncommon for people to defer or leave school for various reasons. But aren't you doing research here? This is different. Tesla shrugs languidly. Professor Planck is purely theoretical with her work. With my current research, I can't graduate under her supervision. Especially Einstein. Recently, she's only willing to let me run virtual tests on Ida. Only because I've blown up the bedroom once or twice before. Isn't that a bit excessive? Do you know who Ida is? If we're talking about Ida, I just met her today. Looks like you already. What is the stuff in the toy? No, looks like it'll take at least 4 weeks to produce results. And I will pull an all-nighter and play until dawn! All-nighter? And that's... Of course, silly! 4 weeks! A whole month! Don't you understand? Ida's going to be busy for 4 weeks, so how am I going to refuse this big vacation? A life of luxury and debauchery. Here I come! Wow! Guys, Tesla's gone insane. What do we do? What are you waiting for, boy? Bring your gal some wine. Hey, you shouldn't be drinking anymore, should you? You're already in such a drunken state, and you still want to drink more? Can she even drink more? At a certain point, there's a thing called alcohol poisoning. You're such stupid things. I say that you've been the one having too much to drink. My lungs hurt from doing this. Oh my goodness. Wasn't that a super snappy response? I could definitely go for another round. Since you refuse to help. How about I go help myself? As she speaks, she sways and wobbles towards upstairs. Her goal is obvious, the plump, gaudy refrigerator at the end of the corridor on the top floor. No! Seeing that he cannot block Tesla's steps, Bolt crosses his heart and rushes forward to hold her tightly. Hey! What are you doing? Let you go! Let go of my hand! If you're going to keep drinking, I'm not going to let go. The young man takes a step forward and grabs her other hand. Finally, after much difficulty, I've managed to secure a holiday. How can I not be permitted to enjoy my freedom? Are you really going to stop me from getting another drink? You cringe! The drunk is obviously dissatisfied with Welt's rough interference. She flicks her hand up and down like a skipping rope, trying to break free from Welt. Hey! Pervert sexual deviant! Let go now! What? Yikes. You must let go! Let go! Let go! Let go! Let go! Let go! Are you able to behave responsibly and look after your own body in this state? The young man does not know whether he should laugh or cry. The red-haired girl whose hands he is holding is now lying on the ground, breaking out into a tantrum. Is she 3? She's swinging about and causing a scene, just like a toddler who's refused her toy. Won't let go, will you? Before you give up your quest for more alcohol. No, I can't let go. You're drunk. Go back to your room and rest. No! I'm not drunk! I'm clearly sober. Only a drunk would say that. Not drunk means I'm not drunk! Tesla squats angrily on the ground, and all of a sudden, she violently leaps up as though an idea has hopped in her mind. I know. I won't drink anymore. Oh, I did go to the next album. Hold on, is this looping? Okay, it should be looping now. Don't lie to me. Not lying. Not lying. The bundle of red hair, exuding the scent of wine, flashes an impish grin. But for a price, you'll have to play with me. Play with me. Then I won't drink. Really? I'm not lying! I'm not lying to you! Okay, fine. In the face of death, the young man nods. So, what are you planning to play? It's late at night, you know? What is fun to play late at night? Huh? Don't say such dangerous things. Not even what I was thinking. You say such things as practically the same as being guilty of doing it? So shy, so timid. Shy, timid, stop speaking nonsense. How am I shy? I'm just gonna say it then. Well, you stinky boy, if you have the courage, come and... From the shadows behind them, a dictionary comes flying out and hits the noisy woman squarely in the head. It's the middle of the night, and you're loud as hell. Let me get some sleep. Now. Right now. Say, well, why is she suddenly so still? It's loading. Oh, we're on chapter 10, I think. I was sure. Vienna 13th District, Schicksal Headquarters. Vienna's 13th District is called the Heitzing and is located in the westernmost part of the city. The Schönbrunn Palace of the Habsburgs is located here, of the royal family. Professor Planck, please refrain from doing such unconventional things ever again. A council member anonymously berates the provocative scholar via the intercom. This is part of my teaching. I do not know what you are making a fuss about. Teaching is no excuse for violating the organization's core principles. But we are entitled to a certain degree of autonomy, aren't we? Whether it is the North American branch or Lab 42? Lab 42 is a member of the European branch. They are still required to follow procedure. Another voice of the council seems to speak in a slightly calmer tone. Sir, from which side do you wish to withdraw the right to self-autonomy? No, please don't take it in such an extreme way. We are only investigating procedural issues, and there's no need to turn this into a larger problem than it already is. Then I'm just here to remind you that the right to autonomy and self-determination is the source of vitality for research institutions. If you insist that everything has to go through procedures for approval, then in terms of academic and scientific rigor, it will be a disaster for this organization. Speaking of which, how is Edison's personal situation? Have one more cookie, I'm almost done with my hot chocolate, okay? Guys, I feel like every time I voice Plank, she sounds different. I like go back into my VODs and try and figure out what accent I use for Plank, and I can never get it right. I always get it different every recording it seems. Sorry, marshmallows. Seeing that the two sides held firm to their own positions on the issue, a third speaker shifts topic. Princess Nancy? She's quite interesting. For example, I have the exact evidence on hand that she is helping me to train an army outside of this organization. What? Is she planning to rebel? No. This is a request from the US government, and both parties have signed an agreement for the development of non-lethal weapons, a matter that is difficult for us to refuse. What the hell is this? Some sort of militia for civil defense and law enforcement? Don't make such vile jokes and poor takes, Professor Planck. Sorry. I'm just thinking that you're being too serious right now, are you not? Of course, the council must be serious. Please do not introduce such unrefined foreign habits into our discussion. That's rude. Entschuldigung, I am a true Bavarian. Born and bred, I simply cannot help it. I have no idea what that word means. Although the S with like the little thing on that top is pronounced SH. It's found in, if you read like transliterations of Babylonian texts, most S's are pronounced that way. So when we translate cuneiform to standard like IPA pronunciations with English-looking characters, that upside down hat on the S, it's that upside down hat on the S. You pronounce S as SH, as in like shell or shock, right? That was a very bad. Those are two very bad examples to use. I'm sorry. I say, everyone, please do not go off top. A more dignified-sounding elder speaks. The trivialities of the North American branch shall be set aside for now. Today, we have more important matters to discuss. New York, Manhattan, the Consolidated Edison Building. Consolidated Edison. Oh, I actually know what that is. So Consolidated Edison exists today. It is a utility company in New York. They run the utilities for New York University and like pretty much all of New York. So that's why I know about them, because I had a seminar NYU for a semester, and I had to go there. But yeah, nowadays they're the utility company that works that operates out of New York. So so like if you walk down the streets of New York City, you'll see like all of the manhole covers and stuff that have like Con Ed logo on them, and they'll handle like your electricity and stuff. So about these important matters you wish to speak about, what is it, none of this? Schrödinger, who nearly overturns an ink bottle, glares grumpily at Nancy Edison and Elias Nilgim Vertanen, who have been stubbornly interrupting her own research. Let me explain. The man pretends to nudge his gold-rimmed glass. Previously, headquarters sent Lab 42 an unpublished section of the Dead Sea Scrolls. Do you remember this? So? Did you manage to find anything from this object, one with a history of nearly 3,000 to 4,000 years? Evidently, the researcher with the corkscrew ponytail is not particularly enthusiastic about these fantastical entities from a less civilized age. First, let me confirm with you one thing. Is there an important constant in physics, one whose first digits begin with 6626070? Wait, what's that? Guys, I don't know what that number is. I'm dumb. Wait. Which constant is that? I'm sitting without the decimal separator. 6626070. Isn't that Planck's constant? Oh, thank you. Thank you, game. Why are you asking me? You already know the answer. Is there another constant whose first few digits are 104, 5571? That is a reduced Planck constant that I recommend everyone should use. But what exactly is it you want to say? Those seem like very different numbers. As they all appear in a manuscript with a history of nearly 3,000 or 4,000 years. What? Not only that, you see, although their notation is different from ours, but this strange-looking coat of arms, when you take it apart like this and look, don't you think it looks a lot like some formula from calculus? The man gets more and more excited as he speaks, and he pushes out his envelope and thrusts it into the face of corkscrew ponytail. I can't read it if it's this close. The doctor of physics awkwardly takes a step back. Indeed, you have a point, Melodis. Right! Do you think this is really pure coincidence? So, should you instead be asking, which remnant of the previous era did a group of Jews copy this kind of thing? Correct! That's it! Let's start with my conclusion first. I think this scroll is extremely valuable. It inadvertently requires a method of energy conversion that we have never imagined before. You should first take a look at this passage that I decoded. A thesis? Correct, a thesis. Oh my god, that pitch is destroying my throat. Sorry. Finn's pitches. I'm trying my best. I'm sorry. It's been a while. Although the original ancient manuscript has a completely nonsensical and sensationalized Aramaic curse as a title, if you treat it as an output, as a result of another passage of text that's been passed to a simple substitution cipher. Wait. A simple substitution cipher? Sorry, I jumped ahead too quickly. Change A to D, B to E, C to F. This is the most primitive encryption method. Simple substitution, also known as Caesar cipher. Do you understand? If Caesar had anything confidential to say, that is, by so changing the order of the letters of the alphabet, then not a word could be made out. If anyone wishes to decipher these and get at their meaning, he must substitute the fourth letter of the alphabet, namely D for A, and so with the others. Suetonius 69 AD, the 12 Roman emperors, Lib Classical Library Translation. I think I've mentioned the Caesar cipher before, the Caesarian shift. Basically, if you like put the alphabet put two alphabets on the same line and then like slide it over by some number, then you can encode it. And then like the A, right? If you slide it over by 1, it goes to Z, and then slide it over by 2, it goes to Y. So like kind of like imagine like a cylinder, like a can, right? And then you have like 2 strips of paper with the alphabet, and like turn the 2 strips of paper to get a different cipher. So imagine that we are the Jews who strayed into the ruins of the previous era. We see these texts which have been left behind by the previous era of humans, and we think it's some kind of mysterious magical text. Oh, sorry. But unfortunately our knowledge is limited and we cannot understand these holy books. In this situation, if we want to foresee, then we can only make up a name for each letter and read it letter by letter. And that's right! Because of this one-to-one correspondence, the Aramaic text on the scrolls just so happens to form a simple substitution of the original text. But once we understand it at this level, the rest of the ciphering work is extremely simple. Just trial and error. Since the result of the description is meaningful from the perspective of probability, I gather that you managed to ascertain the original text. So your so-called method of energy conversion that we have never imagined before. What is it exactly, Nanadetsu? It's a way to allow Honkai energy to return to ordinary energy in a controlled manner. What? That comes as no surprise. The second law of thermodynamics places a constraint on ordinary energy. Can it also include Honkai energy on the imaginary side? Oh boy! The second law of thermodynamics! There are many equivalent expressions of the second law of thermodynamics. Common examples are: heat cannot pass from a colder or warmer body without some other change connected therewith occurring at the same time. It is impossible by means of inanimate material agency to derive mechanical effect from any portion of matter by cooling it below the temperature of the coldest of the surrounding objects, Kelvin. It's impossible to construct an engine which will work in a complete cycle and produce no effect except the raising of a weight and cooling of a heat reservoir, like. Thank you, Chaos, for the hydrate, the stretch, and the posture. Oh my goodness, you just got here and you're already redeeming all of it. Thank you, Chaos. Hi! Welcome to the anti-entropy visual novel. Unfortunately, Chaos, if you haven't been here for my other visual novel streams, you can't. This stuff might be a bit confusing for you. How am I doing? I'm doing pretty good. I'm pretty tired from class, and I have class tomorrow too, early morning. So, yeah, unfortunately, this will be the last chapter. I won't do 2 chapters today. Whee! You're gonna be so confused. So what we're doing right now is we're listening to the Finnish guy. His name is Elias. He took the Dead Sea Scrolls and he figured out that the Aramaic written on the scrolls substitutes for a language from the previous era, and he was able to describe a method of energy conversion that was hidden inside the Dead Sea Scrolls. Isn't that pretty cool? Oh, you have a favorite model! Congrats! I was just about to ask how you're doing, but I'm guessing that with the new model you're doing pretty good, right? Pretty happy with it? As a heads up. Thank you for redeeming. I'm here too. It's still louder? I have music playing in the background. It's the Honkai Impact soundtrack. I can turn it down a little bit more. How's this? Is this better? It's at 30 now. Yeah, it's at 30 now. Is that better? Okay. It was at 35 before. By the way, it was at 35. And it's a lot better at 30. Oh, really? Wait, you couldn't hear me? What? Maybe... I don't think anyone had trouble hearing me earlier, right? Maybe it was because I was shouting because Tesla was drunk. Oh. That's awkward. Oops. Anyway... I'll also turn up my voice on, Oh, I see. Oopsies. Got it, got it. Okay, that's good at least. I'm still hydrating. Okay, now I'll stretch and posture check. Okay, let's keep reading too. When an isolated system performs a process after the removal of a series of internal constraints, it will reach a unique state of equilibrium. This state of equilibrium is independent of the order in which the constraints are removed. Hatsupolus Keenan, and many more. And that was the second law of thermodynamics, everyone. Oh, that timing. Yeah, I have streamed today. I was playing Honkai Impact earlier. Was it at 6:15-ish? Because that's when I started. That being said, circumstances mean there will be a very high Honkai energy density. Because of this, our degree of control will approach 0. No, of course it won't approach 0. Did you forget about the Hersher? Uh-oh. That's why they want Welt, Joyce. Oh my goodness. London, Kensington, Imperial Institute. Maybe Einstein's dictionary attack was too powerful. Oh, right. Right, recap everyone. So Tesla got drunk. She started screaming about, like how people care too much about gender and names and stuff. And then she was like, get me more alcohol. And Welt was like, no. And then Einstein was like, shut up. And she threw a dictionary at her head. Because it was late at night. And she was being loud. That is a lot of emotes. Maybe Einstein's dictionary attack was too powerful, but Tesla ends up sleeping through to the afternoon of the next day. When she rubs the dark circles around her eyes and eventually climbs downstairs, she sees the culprit and Welt sitting face to face in the foyer, taking turns playing around with some small pebbles that they've picked up from somewhere. I wish my model is progressing. I actually have like a concept art for my model now. It's just really exciting. I also figured out how I want the rest of my outfit to look. So I'm gonna send that in, and then hopefully soon I will get a silhouette for you guys, and I'll post the silhouette on Twitter, okay? And in the Discord. It's exciting, right? Once I have my model, I'll start commissioning emotes too. So I already have a few emote ideas. What? Do not the basement. Oh my god. Why? Where basement stuff again? Oh, also Chaos! Chaos, you missed Otto dressed as a vampire. And also offering to remove himself from the story so that the Honkai Impact 3rd characters don't have to suffer anymore. Yeah, he was drunk. The room has its floor heating switched on, so it is more comfortable now than before when there was a cold draft. Also permeating through the languid atmosphere is a unique fragrance of fried food. Yum yum. I say, you guys, what's up? What the chocolate? Almuerzo, Owale, Bao, Kala. The above are different variants of Mancala called African chess in Chinese. Almuerzo is popular in Uganda, Owale is popular in Ghana, Bao is popular in Kenya, and Kala is a variant adopted by Americans. In general, this is a two-player, turn-based board game featuring the peculiar mechanic of constantly moving pieces into holes on a board in a seeding process. In doing so, one can win pieces according to certain rules and eventually become victorious. Shoot the auto. Auto apocalypse. That man gives me the weirdest outbursts. I had to apologize for one of mine because it just sounded really bad out of context. If it was out of context of auto, it just sounded really bad after I said it. And I was like, wait, that's not cool. That is not cool at all. Speak to me in a human language. That is a human language, Tesla! Oh my god! The devil with the messy red hair stares intensely at the piles of small stones on the coffee table and makes a motion as if she were trying to scatter them. Careful, careful now. Mophead hurriedly reaches out to protect the piles of stones. Wrong move. Spider-Man? We are studying the numerous variants of this board game called Mancala. Don't tell me you've been doing this. That is a very bad word to say on stream. I'm not going to say that. Crap for the whole morning. Otto Octavius. Ah, yes, Spider-Man. Yeah, that is a very bad word to say on stream. Please do not say this word, okay? Don't be like Tesla. She said a very bad word. Of the 60 mainstream variants, 4 have already been studied. We are now preparing to try out the 5th. Is it really that interesting? Pure innocent men need some less stimulating entertainment. Mophead continues to explain in a vague circumlocutory manner. Circumlocutory matter. My bad. Sorry. I was like, wait, that's not how you pronounce that word. Must I remind you that last night you were chasing after this pure-hearted man in a boost-fueled frenzy? The bewildered red demon suddenly seems to remember something. Say worse words instead. Like spam hate. Wow. No, spam is delicious. Canned spam is delicious. What are you talking about? She's a love song. I must resist the urge. That hugs. Daddy's so good. That hugs. Continuing. Thank you, Tesla. That is exactly how I feel right now. Instantly, her face turns red, and she attempts to crawl under the sofa like a cat. Are you serious? Will awkwardly shakes his head. As you can see, this person is rather pure and innocent. What the hell are you talking about? Tesla is confused by Einstein's twinkling eyes and shifty, vague expression. Is she referring to wealth? Or is she referring to Tesla herself? Today's Tesla is especially cute. No! My model goes absolutely nuts when I cover my face like that. Is Tesla self-driving? No, she's self-drinking. She runs on pure booze. Well, where exactly are we going? Riding a taxi to Hampstead Heath, Walt finally gets the chance to ask the red-haired tyrant. Cool, let me fill her up. Cheers, Tesla! Sure, why not? Why not? Tesla shouldn't be drinking anymore, though. Tesla was so drunk in the previous chapter. Like most of her lines I voiced with like and like slurring all her words and stuff. It was pretty fun. It was a really fun thing to voice. Hampstead Heath, or simply the Heath, is a large and ancient London park, spanning a clay belt, including sand dunes, the highest point in London's geography, 134 meters above sea level, from Hampstead to Highgate Cemetery. It is one of London's famous natural attractions. Huh? Oh, right. When I was making that phone call for our taxi, you were still playing that Tesla, stop using that word! Stone game. Cemetery. We're going to the Highgate Cemetery. Cemetery? Spooky season is in full force, everyone. Happy October! Why are you kicking up such a fuss? It's not like we're gonna bury you there. Ooh, delicious. Anyway, back to the point. That large bag you threw in the back of the trunk? Don't you know what's actually in it? Well, no matter how hard I try, I can't will myself to receive superpowers like X-ray vision, okay? Do you have rhinitis? Could you smell the cat food? Oh, that. I've never raised a cat. Then I hope you won't be sniffing about drool trailing from your mouth, okay? You're treating me just like a cat! Why did I do that? Well, get in the robot! What? There's no robot! Dang it! Yeah, that's about right. There's virtually no difference. There's a huge difference, okay? Only Welt would argue and complain so seriously. You don't say. But why are we feeding cats at the cemetery? This drive seems rather long. I already said that earlier. Plank said it and I voiced it and I was like, oops. I guess that's true, but I've gotten used to it. After all, in the first half of the year, I was forced to do volunteer work there for 5 months. Forced to volunteer. How do I do it in Plank's voice? How do I do it in Plank's voice? Oh, crap! Okay, we're done. We're done there. We're done there. We're done there. We are done. Weird. That's what it sounds like. Not even sus at all. It's just weird. Also, why did I do that? Wait, what am I doing? At a cemetery? Okay, that was oh, that was really bad. That was a really bad text like. Dang it! This visual novel. No! How did the situation come to that? The situation was a non-situation. If a court orders you to be a volunteer, would you still refuse to go? I need to focus on this story, unfortunately, because I do want to know what happens. Good thing it is like Zatsudan-ish kind of between Tesla and Welt right now, but I still want to know what happens. This is pretty funny. At least to me, it's pretty funny watching them interact like this. You can hang out in voice if you want. I think I might stop by for a tiny little bit after I finish reading. You can watch the... Yeah, I'm not set up for Zatsudan in this scene either, so there's also that. I would have to spend a lot of time setting up. That's true. Yeah, maybe if I set up better next time, we can do that, okay? Right now I'm just not set up for it. And I have class tomorrow. I have early class tomorrow, unfortunately. That is a good reminder though. Could you put that in the suggestion forum? Is it like, just to remind me. Yeah. I know. I kind of want to hang out too, but we can't have what we want in life, can we? Especially when I have class. I shouldn't have taken this class schedule. It's awful. I should have had the foresight to realize that having most of my classes on Wednesday would severely impact my ability to stream on Tuesdays. That's true, but yeah. But I can't. I don't want to be late for class. Because it's still like technically the second week of classes. So like I still need to know what's going on, and like once I know which classes I can skip, I'll be fine. Because there's always at least 1 or 2 classes I pick that I can just be like, I can skip this, read the book, and the final is like a paper that I have to write. And it's like, perfect. Yeah, I will join after this chapter, after I end stream, okay? But right now I want to focus on the story and have fun voicing stuff. Also, why the heck did Tesla get ordered to be a volunteer by the court? What crime did she commit? She got sentenced to community service, I think. Judging by the context. Court? I guess you must have broken some law relating to the cemetery. Besides, don't all members of our organization have judicial immunity? There's a treaty signed between our organization and the government in drunk driving. I knew it! I knew it had something to do with drinking! Oh my god, Tesla! Tesla! Huh? You were drunk driving? Have you wondered, now that the Finn has left, why we could only take the underground or hire a taxi? If it wasn't for that blasted Scotland Yard being so insistent on revoking my driver's license. Oh! This all sounds like it's your own fault. How is it my fault? Clearly, it's their established rules and standards that are too baffling. In fact, I didn't even feel anything, so to speak. Yeah, of course you didn't feel anything because you were drunk! Don't drink and drive, everyone! Do not! Well, by the time it gets to the point that the feeling is obvious even to you, wouldn't it already be a major disaster? Anyway, during the weekends of the first half of the year, I spent my time in the graveyard. But actually, it was pretty fun. This place called Highgate. Perhaps it's more appropriate to call it a point of historical interest rather than a cemetery. Historical interest? You'll understand when we get there. Miss Elizabeth Jackson, who died in May 1839, must not have expected... let's see. Elizabeth Jackson was the first deceased to be buried in Highgate Cemetery. In the mid-early 19th century, due to a soaring urban population brought about by the Industrial Revolution. That was a terrible time to read that. Hi, Alex. Thank you for coming. Thank you for spamming. Oh no, Ana, and meow. Oh no. Oh no, stop! Wait, no! Ah! I'm trying to read some historical context. Hydrate, thank you! Let me finish this context first. Elizabeth Jackson was the first deceased to be buried in the Highgate Cemetery in the mid-early 19th century due to a soaring urban population brought about by the Industrial Revolution. There was a grave shortage in London. A grave shortage of graves. Graves that had only been recently used several months ago were being reused to bury more dead. Highgate Cemetery was one of the few cemeteries planned by the British government at the time to solve this challenging problem of affecting the populace's dignity and welfare. Stretch and posture check. Okay. Context is good. Oh look, Chaos, it's your favorite. Rainforms falling down. Never let you go. Okay. Can't sing and stretch at the same time, unfortunately. More roses are red poems. Thank you. Thank you, Chaos. Thank you, Chaos. Oh my goodness. Still stretching. Posture check. Okay. Miss Elizabeth Jackson, who died in May 1839, must not have expected that in the decades following her death, the place where she now rests would gradually evolve into what we see today. A place where a variety of tombstone styles have converged to create a place of attraction all of its own. A unique cemetery where surrounding villas and real estate continue to fetch high prices. Naturally, in such a venue, much like a public park or garden, there are bound to be many cats. Ah, it's Pandu! Ah, cute cat. Pandu? Is that the cat's name? Mm-hmm. As it can be regarded as a perfect specimen of an exiled cat, don't you think such a name is very fitting? I have absolutely no idea what you're on about. No problem. I just borrowed the name of a boring character from a boring story. Pandu was the ancestor of the Pandavas in the Hindu epic the Mahabharata, and the nominal father of the 5 sons of Pandu, who included Arjuna among others. When he was young, Pandu hunted in the countryside and shot arrows at a mating antelope, but the antelope happened to be the incarnation of a sage, and Pandu was cursed by him to not be able to approach others with the intention of loving them, or else he would die tragically. When he grew up as a king, he married Kunti, who had learned immortality. Kunti gave birth to sons, including Karna, son of the sun god, who was born before her marriage. The eldest son was adopted and brought up by a charioteer, thus giving Pandu heirs. Translator's note: this is not entirely accurate as far as the most common version of the Mahabharata is concerned. Pandu already married before he shot the sage and became cursed. Pandu thus exiled himself and his family from his own kingdom because of this. Hence Tesla's nickname for the cat. Kunti never learned of immortality, and precisely because of Pandu's curse, all her sons were sired by different fathers, who were all Hindu gods. No, I'm not replaying this song. Oh my god, another Moses thread. Moses thread, he was dead, Jesus. Ah! Ah! The Mahabharata is not a boring story, by the way. It's just a story that I've never had the chance to read. I've been really interested in reading it for a long time, but it's also very long. Another posture check? I'm sure. I am sitting up straight. Oh, that's right. Pass me half the cat food in the bag. Half? Can it eat that much on its own? What the hell are you on about? It's a large garden, and now it's that time of day again, so it won't be reasonable for us to split up. Wouldn't it be reasonable for us to split up and work separately? Separately? Here? As such a big boy, you sure have a lot of courage. Here, a map for you. I definitely want to stay on the eastern side, so the entire western side is entrusted to you. She's totally making fun of. Well, Highgate Cemetery, unlike Westminster Abbey, houses countless renowned personages of the Empire. Oh, darn it! These 2 great men were buried at Highgate Cemetery. For our work, we should also add Douglas Adams, author of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. We thank you for giving us 42, the answer, the ultimate, the question of life, the universe, and everything. But of all names, the 2 names in particular, Michael Faraday and Karl Marx, give the lonesome wealth an inexplicable sense of familiarity and peace of mind. So to speak, the so-called celebrity effect is really an omnipresent and universal phenomenon that transcends death itself. Fortunately, thanks to this, the young man named Walt can finally experience and appreciate the unique charm of this cemetery. From simple crude tombs that are so small as to barely be perceptible, to grandiose luxurious palatial mausoleums that look like they come straight from Angkor Wat. All of these have decayed into prehistoric ruins under the weathering and erosion of lichen moss and acid rain. A stone-carved piano, its keys long since blurred together, a statue with broken arms, carved from head to toe with clambering vines, a granite lion with a mane covered completely by bird guano. Although, admittedly, All seems rather eerie and creepy. It can also be seen as yet another natural history museum, a dazzling display of the world's living and non. Ah, when the young man directs his eyes back to the trail in front of him, he suddenly notices that there's a somewhat familiar-looking female figure standing in the corner ahead. Was that a common hairstyle back then? Because of all characters that have that hairstyle, the bun with like the braid around it, you know who has that hairstyle? Guys, if you've ever watched Fate, the original Saber has that hairstyle. Without like the little curl coming out of it. Violet Evergarden, yes. They're all Saber faces. They're all the same character. They all look the same. Oh, how serendipitous. When did we... It was last month at the airport, wasn't it? Oh wait, is this... Oh yeah, it's that lady! Ah! That was... No need to worry. I tried my best. That's all. That's the best you're getting, Alex, for saying that out loud. No need to worry. My name is Rihanna Brigantia. Although I'm a Valkyrie directly under the command of headquarters, today I am just like you, an ordinary person who has come to visit and sweep the graves. Those are redeems, guys. Those are channel point redeems. Not here to sweep graves. I'm really only here to help people feed the cats. So that's the reason. You must have really been working hard. That's not exactly true. It must really be fate for us to meet here. Perhaps we should feed these little furry children together? Can we really? Of course we can. Anyway, today I'm off duty. In that case, will you also permit me to join you in paying respects to the dead? Thank you, Alex. Of course. The child, Martha. She's a good conversationalist, and she won't despise your company. I wish wherever you are, may there be no ominous darkness, nor glaring brightness. I wish wherever you are, may there be no raucous noise, nor frightful silence. Wherever you are, may it be warm and genial paradise on the other side. Amen. Martha Lily Jacobs, a child born in the Holloway Street. Lily was her nickname because she liked calla lilies. She was the only Valkyrie who died from the Honkai eruption in Berlin, but was not buried in the Invalidenfriedhof cemetery? Yikes, I could not pronounce that. The cemetery with the long name is one of the oldest cemeteries in Berlin and was used as a military cemetery in Prussia. Berlin? Wasn't that... Oh, that was... Yeah, that was Welz. It was the incident where you were born. You don't need to feel too guilty. Sacrifice is an inevitability on the battlefield. Generally speaking, the organization chooses a cemetery nearby. In the event of death, they will bury everyone there so that one can rest with their comrades in arms. So Martha's situation was... In the process of destroying the Emperor-class Honkai beasts, the Night Moth team she led was almost completely annihilated. This child, as the sole survivor, she must have borne an unimaginably heavy burden. Although we had immediately arranged for her to leave the front and receive treatment, in the end... Thank you for the posture check, Chaos. Sitting up straight. Yes. New Year's Day of this year, the second anniversary of this incident, She was at her home. She hanged herself. Oh. Holding it together, because of her suicide in a non-combat situation. According to military protocol, we could not bury her together with her compatriots, or with those who have yet to die in one place. Yeah, sorry. Just a bit uncomfortable. Sorry. Isn't that too cruel? Yeah, don't worry. Visual novel text. Remember, if you're feeling any certain way, make sure you take the time to take care of yourselves, okay? There's no alternative. That is the way of the military. This so-called army is a machine that cannot tolerate the failure of any one screw. Because of this, its Hall of Heroes, its Valhalla, will only accept those who fulfill their responsibilities to their final breath. It is cruel, but we have no better solution. Don't get me wrong. To anyone else, her misfortune was a complete tragedy. A tragedy that should never have been borne by her alone. It's just that, for the warrior, for the soldier, the professional code of honor is something that must come before any one individual. Yes, it is tragic for that individual. But this is also a situation where there's no alternative but to fight fire with fire, poison with poison. Because only in this way can we organize some of the bravest among us to let them work in unison like a machine on a rapidly changing battlefield. To confront and then to defeat some of the cruelest things in the world. The sky slowly fills with stars, and the food bag slowly empties. Along the way, the cats appear to be very much gratified. However, after hearing the story of the Valkyrie Martha, Walt felt upset in the vent. This is the last feeding point. I'm sorry. Martha's incident, this is not a sadness you need to bear. But, Miss Rihanna, you must also be upset, right? Isn't there a saying that goes, a joy shared is a joy doubled. A sorrow shared is a sorrow halved. Wasn't that a little bit desperate of me? Well, I guess it wasn't good for me to be joking like that. Shush! No sooner does she say this than Rihanna covers Walt's mouth with her hand and violently pulls him into the bushes. In a direction that he had not noticed before. A mysterious floating object, oh that's what that was, appears out of nowhere. In the night air. What is that? Can that not be that something? What do you mean by cannot be that something? Speak precisely. That must be one of those ghosts. Don't say such unlucky words. The ghosts that truly exist in this world are way more troublesome than those urban legends. Huh? Are they really ghosts? It's just a metaphor. Also, stop yelling at me. On the battlefield, it could mean death. How do you say that? How do you pronounce that again? Or something like that. It's Lovecraft. This is a mantra used by Cthulhu's cult in Lovecraft's famous short novel Call of Cthulhu. It means in his house at Urie, dead Cthulhu waits dreaming. Cthulhu fun! Ah! Cthulhu run no fun! Cthulhu running! It's hovering on the spot. It's also reciting something? That floating object, don't you think it looks too much like a bedsheet? I bet it's Tesla playing a prank. The bedsheet. But it has no legs? Who knows? I guess it's someone's prank with a balloon. And also those words it's saying, I feel like it's something I've heard of somewhere before. heard of before somewhere. Brianna picks up a stone from the grass. Ping! The stone hits the ghost and makes a crisp sound as if it had struck hard rock before rolling back onto the grass. That strange clanging sound, what the hell is going on? How would I know? Oop! I've been discovered! The ghost suddenly blows a stream of air from beneath it and flees from the scene at rapid speed. Wait, what's going on now? Brianna pulls out a miniature walkie-talkie device. V23 requests emergency support. I've encountered an unidentified flying object. Please send weapons to my location immediately in accordance with Plan 8. Mobile units, please stand by. I repeat, I have encountered an unidentified flying object. Please send weapons to my location immediately in accordance with Plan 8. Mobile units, please stand by. Over. Oh, it's backwards! Wait. No, it's not. This is just gibberish. Cthulhu still lives. 2, I suppose. At the junction separating the east and west cemeteries, Tesla, whose expression is inexplicably tense, is communicating with a young boy. Tesla, danger! Make way, redhead. Redhead? Who's the redhead? Hey, what's going on? Make way if you want to live. Boop. Ah! Plan 8 was a perfect success. The UFO has been disintegrated. I will bring back Abyss Flower myself in accordance with the plan over. Wait, she used Abyss Flower? That's Abyss Flower, guys! That's Cecilia's weapon. And also Otto's weapon in Star Rail. The two of you, are you okay? Have you been hurt? Have you been hurt by ours? That was our latest floating robot! Call me back! Oh, wait, is that the end of the chapter? It is the end of the chapter! Okay, it's 10 p.m. and I have to wake up at 6. So, unfortunately, this is where we stop. Let's get out of here. So we are now on chapter 11. In game, the Ida has still not translated the text yet, but we at least have found out that the Dead Sea Scrolls are what's it called? Are actually a formula from the previous generation. This is where we'll end off for now. We are on chapter 11. Thank you everyone for coming. Listen to the visual novel. I really hope I get to do this more often. I have not been able to do this that much, but yeah. Oh, thank you for redeeming. You're here, Alex. Thank you so much. But yeah, let me send you over. Let me send you over to Fenris. He's playing a Honkai Star Rail. Unfortunately, I have to drop fairly soon afterwards. So yeah. Let's start up the raid. And yeah. Make sure you guys get some rest and food and water if you need it. And my next scheduled stream is on Friday. We'll be playing Fate Samurai Remnant again because there is not enough content in Star Rail for me to do. There's Forgotten Hall, but I didn't feel like doing it right now. So yeah, Star Rail will not be on Friday. We'll be playing Fate Samurai Remnant, okay? Hopefully a few more chapters of that. Thank you everyone for coming! Make sure you give Fenris a lot of love. They're playing Honkai Star Rail and enjoy their raid. Enjoy the raid, enjoy their stream, and I will see you on Friday. Bye everyone!